Oh, this is hot. Ugh.
No, would you rather, hot or cold?
Doesn't matter anymore? Like, I feel sleepy when it's hot, I feel sleepy when it's cold.
But apparently when you're dream walking, you're not tired.
Yes.
Or at least that one time.
So, where are
If it
we
were easy
again?
for me, I would move one of the 4 suns that's out here. The other one can't be moved. I've tried.
There.
To answer
Okay.
your question, this is the Nova Palace.
Oh,
entire
that
place?
weird, timey-wimey place that you mentioned?
With my father's powers, yes, it could be.
Oh, okay.
This space is a demi-dimension. A place in between different planes, but not a plane itself.
Gotcha.
Created by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Basically, this is where we really fuck around and find out with our powers, pretty much. It's the safest place in Talaria.
Hmm.
Or the safest
it's
place
more so the
for...
dangerous, but it's the safest for us to express ourselves physically without limitation.
Understood.
That's fair.
Heck, this is where I do my dragon training.
Oh. Gotcha. Well, aside from the times where you just end up inadvertently practicing. I still find it funny that it
Simulation
was...
is the only exception. And that's because it is safe. Like this place.
fair.
It's literally just a figment of our imagination of numbers. No one really gets hurt.
Headache, so still get hurt.
You know what I mean.
Despite
The
that, this
definitions
place is
of-
very real. You will face and feel real pain. Keep that in mind.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because this is a bit different than the simulation. Is there any direction we need to go?
Well, you can walk anywhere. The planet itself is very small.
We can
Is
try
there
to just
any...
find a comfortable place. There was a temple. If we go further in, has some flat
Okay.
ground that we can sit on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find a
Unless we can-
place where basically that's shaded, because yeah, it's a little toasty.
Exactly. I think that might be the perfect place then. Might take a while.
Yeah, used to walking.
It's good exercise.
But I don't need exercise.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. My
you don't
physical
need
form
this.
stays the same no matter what I do to it.
Aside from getting cracked.
Well, that's damage. That's different.
So you experience suffering without reward.
Hmm.
Well,
I
suppose it's
mean-
mental reward, but not physical.
Hmm.
I mean, we've been trying to do practicing with ether, and well, this became a thing. So, right.
Kōkei has a special thing where once they get out of combat, they start healing.
Yeah. I can also just stay out of combat for a little bit, and it also does the healing too.
So just as long as you don't get hit.
Mm-hmm.
And also the fact of, keeping an eye on your ether levels.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never burned it at a rate this fast before.
Yeah, which I find a little bit weird that whenever you... Because whenever you use those, I guess, flashes from your hands, it likely burn more or something like that.
Like, them actually being active is what's making it run even faster?
Yeah, when she's actually fighting, it seems to drop it even more. Ether does decay over time, but not
Only
as
because
fast
my
as say when
horns
she...
don't work anymore.
Yeah, for some odd reason.
I should have invested in the physical trait ether lines.
You mean these?
Yeah, those. Those things.
Well, maybe your previous lives had that? If we find the memory, maybe you can learn it again?
I don't know. Has Justice always had horns?
I mean, from what I remember, yeah.
I've never met Justice, so I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah, I think pretty much I'm the only one that can.
This is quite a walk.
Yeah, I'm just going
We're
to
almost
just...
there.
You see, like, there's like a little cloud of cold over Akira. That feels better.
More bright light.
Huh?
Bright
Well,
light.
if that's the case, how do you think I feel?
Yeah, he's weak to light.
Yeah, but aren't you like dark and fire?
Well, my main element of my soul is darkness. But the dragon that I absorbed is fire as well as some necrotic energy.
Yeah, when I found out that darkness is essentially necrotic, no wonder that beam hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Noted.
Now I'm
That
dark.
also would. That would also go
Yeah.
for the same as my, Swords of the Fallen.
Yeah.
There are
'Cause-
5
Because
suns.
of the fact that I'm tied to, like, the Winter Fate I'm
Yes.
connected to, apparently that's the reason why I'm weaker to demonic and necrotic and anything of that alignment.
Originally, this place was to help myself train, hence why there's 5 suns. They weaken me.
Gotcha.
So did you put these suns in place?
3 of them I did. 2 of them I did not.
Wow.
Where did those come from?
Well, let's see. Space is difficult to give coordinates of. If you try to put it in a 2-dimensional place, you can't. Things are all around you in all of 3-dimensional space. So, my best guess would probably be if you're standing at home on the lake, it would probably be beneath you and to the left, maybe a little bit forward of you. Another one was in front and to the right, and I believe the other would be behind in nearby solar systems.
Interesting. We're almost there. We're heading to that building over there on the left.
Okay.
I'm just gonna casually use Dark Aether to just put shield over Kōkei for light.
Oh.
Better?
Vroom.
Yeah, ups and downs about learning at least elements from one world at the very least.
Yep.
Still gotta work on the, I guess, limits on that Earth soul that I have.
Well, in my experience,
So close.
it's not about the elements you have, but how you use them, or your skill with one particular one.
Yeah, but considering that it's Earth, that's...
Well, it's one of the most abundant.
I thought that would be wind.
That is
Well,
also
he did say
more
one
abundant.
of.
For Luna and Fisher, they're very easy to come across. They're easy to absorb and heal themselves. Taliana and myself are a little bit different. More so for me.
Yeah, because you're purely darkness.
Exactly. I can take fire, but that is also difficult to come by.
Yeah, because I
Especially
remember
that good
from
old
the-
homegrown fire, right?
Well, it needs to be mostly natural. I can absorb magical fire, but it's very gross.
Mm.
Fighty. Because it feels like an artificial fire.
Exactly. Real fire tastes much better.
Look, stairs.
I don't know where I got that image in my head.
I'm walking on stairs.
What image?
For some reason, my brain decided to be like, oh, you know, like how some like foods are like artificially made, where like usually they depending on how they're made, is either they don't taste that great or they taste awful, and then it's just like basically that's what it feels like for writers. It's just like magical fire doesn't taste that great, but it's like actual fire is just like because it's all natural.
Well, and even with magical fire, the amount I gain in energy is significantly reduced.
Yeah, because it's not a natural source.
There's not that much shade on this flat ground.
Casual.
We'll have to do.
Grabs material, throws it up there to make a shade over on that area.
Oh.
That will work.
Man, why am I never creative enough with my own constructions?
To be fair, they're really tiny.
But I can
think
make
you
bigger
haven't
ones.
just worked on size.
Okay, what's the biggest you ever made?
I mean, I made the umbrellas that we used. Those
Oh,
are pretty
yeah.
big.
I'll agree with that. That was big. All right. How do we begin? Oof.
I think writers will need to put us into timey-wimey.
I think we're in timey-wimey already, aren't we?
Yes.
Oh,
When you're in here, I can flow of time quite easily.
felt like nothing changed.
That's why I was able to move those suns without taking that much time.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
When you are in a space with no time, your perception of something is varied. So,
Hmm.
for example, how I'm experiencing it is much slower than yours.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well,
I know you said you didn't want to sleep, so
fuck. Ah, my body. Ah. Ugh.
it's like, so. I know you said you didn't really want to sleep, so would you rather have something to preoccupy your time?
I think just feeling things in my head should be enough.
Well,
Very
thinking
well.
about letting you watch anime to distract yourself, but that's me.
Why would I want to watch anime? What do you take me for, a weeb?
What's a weeb?
Bankai.
Basically, anime enthusiast or somebody who likes to watch anime.
Oh.
It's a person that disowns their own culture for something else.
Oh. Okay then.
I've never really thought much about Blade culture. Wait a minute, there's also something that comes before Blade. Huh.
And that would be
I think it was a land called Althea.
Althea.
never heard of it.
I mean, to be fair, if I remember correctly, the place was lost? Question mark.
I mean, where I hailed from was the land of ruins and ash.
well, if you don't want to do any of the, I guess. I was trying to think slightly ahead in terms of, like, maybe keep you preoccupied, but it doesn't sound like you're wanting to, so.
Honestly, if we do preoccupy them, it might affect what's going on in their head.
Oh my god, you have to fight an anime sword battle with the memories in my brain!
Well, now that you're thinking
hope
that, we
not.
might!
Okay.
Just think calm thoughts, if anything.
I mean... Well, anyways, I'm gonna have to let the other two take over since they're the ones that are more experienced in this.
I guess if
Fair
you can't
enough.
think of anything, think of fire.
I mean, there's already fire in my head.
Yeah, Ember did that. It seems like the Phoenix ashes I gave him were actually useful.
Good.
Yeah, for some reason they were, like, repelling the thing in my head. So I don't know.
Fog, yeah.
We left a couple of torches of his fire in her head, and they've been doing the job, but it seems to be dimming.
Yeah, my head's literally on fire. It's hot.
Fog's getting
Irvin.
thicker. Fog's getting thicker, not getting dimmer.
I meant, okay. I was more focused on how to describe the fire, but I guess the fog being thicker would be a better explanation.
So, are we letting riders into my brain too?
If you're okay with that, and if you're okay with doing that.
Sure, but I would have to physically enter there,
Oh,
not just my mind.
can you not link with these guys?
I don't know how to. Servant and Venora would be the only ones that could bring him in.
I mean, if you're okay with us doing that.
Voice changer?
Is it not working?
No, it's not.
Well, worst case scenario, I find my way out.
Fair.
Okay.
But you're on to try with us shooing you in first before doing it your way, I guess.
Sure.
Yep. Grab this material. Yep, just hook this material over here. Diana.
Got it. I'll have my way too. I just have to concentrate.
Mm-hmm.
If something were to go wrong, I have you that hold me.
Alrighty, so... Quick question, are you rolling for this?
Yes, of course.
Alrighty.
So this is mostly going to be theater of the mind. But there are some sections that I have that will transition. So these two are rolling against my DC.
Wait, 2?
Sorry, 3.
Yeah,
I always forget there's 2 of you.
They're 3 technically. They're just a passenger.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Okay, come on.
God, ow, that hurt. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I just can't use my inner thigh muscles to keep myself propped up forever.
Okay.
Yeesh,
Oh, gosh.
right. That's an
So-
that's an 11 total.
Yeah.
with Shadow's assistance, you manage to break through the mental barriers and get into the mind. You are once again within this endless museum. It's dressed ornately, very nicely, kind of gold trim around. Exhibits around. You can see the exhibits that you saved are still present. Their pillars are still fine. However, the fog has thickened once more. There's still that one room that's completely solidified with fog. And yes, as Shadow had said, the fires that you have left behind are beginning to dim. It seems they're running out of energy, separated from their energy source.
This isn't
Okay,
good.
so the others are just gonna immediately just put power into those, so make the fog back off.
Okay, you have reinforced the memories you protected previously.
Now the question is, since we don't have Ember, what are we gonna do?
I can technically recreate those flames pretty easily. Just a matter of finding the memories, putting them in the right place, and then making the fog move. So,
This is your first time seeing it, Father. What do you make of this?
Peculiar, but interesting.
For a little bit of context, the memories that would have been displayed on the pedestals for the exhibits are all shattered across the floor and scattered throughout all the rooms, so they're very hard to put back together. There are certain ones that have been saved through a lot of effort and time with little braziers, because what the fog has been doing is they've been unstabling the pedestals and dropping all the memories across the floor and shattering them.
so yeah, not only do we have to find the memories, and they could be scattered across different rooms at this point, we also have to keep a torch near the pedestal itself so that way they don't fall again.
Yeah.
And considering that there's a lot of floors, a lot of pedestals, this is gonna take a bit.
I think
As
now
a
you understand why I
reminder
came for
of things that
your
you have
help.
access to, you have access to searching, so you can search for the specific pedestal of a memory. That will light up the pedestal. You can search for a certain category of memories, which, by Taliana's investigation, found that they were emotions. The categories are all emotions. At least currently.
What should we go for next? I'm thinking about it. We're gonna try to clear it all in one time.
Well, I don't know how good your stamina is in that regard. We'll be fine. But considering that the last time... Yeah, considering that the last time that your stamina... by technicality, lasted a pretty good while, but...
I didn't push myself.
Yeah, to be fair, we weren't too sure of the entire situation, so now that we do know... Well... But considering that, well, you only have, well, the knowledge of Kōkei really, so probably better just focus on that or anything that's connected with Kōkei.
I'll let Father join me on that, and while you and Venora handle justice.
Yep. So, oh gosh. By technicality, since the I don't know if you're going to go by category or by specific time periods for you guys.
Depends on what we want to bring back right now, at least.
I thought the general consensus was everything.
Everything, yes, but where to start is important. At least with what we know about Kōkei. Like, I know Dad can probably go find that memory of our fight pretty easily.
The 4v2?
Mm-hmm.
You want to go and try and find that one?
Sure, but if we're going based on category or time period, why don't we pick the one that has the most, or that we think has the most, in terms of time period?
That would probably be Justice or Alice, but we're not too sure. In terms
Kōkei's
of
the
like,
smallest one, honestly. She's only been here for how long? Again? A couple of months? Not even a year
couple
yet.
months. Not even a year yet, yeah.
Or like
Maybe
6 or 7 months.
Half a year.
Yeah, so Kōkei's is probably going to be the easiest in terms of like you finding a starting point and then going from there.
I find it odd you're starting with the easiest first.
Well, here's the
Because it's also
problem. Well,
It's also the most
You-
current.
well, you guys are doing that. We're doing Justice, so
Yeah, the main problem is keeping it in order.
I see.
and you know, making sure that the pedestals don't freak out. And aside from that one room that's completely fogged up, has there been any other rooms that have been completely fogged up at this point?
You can notice that there are certain rooms with higher concentration of fog, like seemingly that this might be like a propagation point of the fog, but none of them as filled as that one solid room. And this solid room, if you might remember, was that room that you tried to create in the museum.
Right. Almost forgot about that bit. This place apparently doesn't like it when you create a room.
Alright.
A tiny
Actually-
addendum. That room is now connected to all the other rooms. So I'll give you that tiny addendum.
Shoot.
Maybe for the time frame, we could type in combat experience? I don't know. I'm just thinking off the top of my head here.
That's fair, but that basically probably goes across all of her lives at that point.
But luckily, we just need to look at her glasses to know which one's which.
Do you submit this search?
I'm going to.
Okay.
And send it.
You find certain memories that come up, multiple ones that say first combat experience. And do you take the time to assemble them?
Taliana will take that one, yeah.
Okay.
If anyone would like to help, they can.
I'll give you those ones for free. So, the first combat experience that you find is Alice. Alice is out in the forest, playing around the campfire in the trees. And they're with their friend Pokey, a little girl with little flame hair. And suddenly, a bear comes up, rears up on his hind legs, and prepares to attack them. Pokey attempts to retaliate with a fireball, but it fails. They're just children. But Alice runs up to it, puts both hands on the bear, and the bear collapses, never to wake again.
Oh.
The second first combat experience is of Justice. This time, you see Justice in like a sprawling city. not too prosperous, but very nice. You see the PGDA in a completely different place that you've never seen it before. And Justice is walking around being celebrated. And then you see terror as citizens all run, as Justice faces up against, Kira would know this, one of Nightmare's forces, an Ashen Knight.
Oh.
And Justice tries to fight them, but fails. And before you know it, Justice runs and abandons the people that they are protecting.
Oh no, I completely forgot that we're gonna have to fucking recreate all the memories of Nightmare too.
Yeah. Gonna see all that. Is that the last one?
Those are the ones of note.
Nothing with Kōkei. This is gonna be harder than I thought. Once again.
Well, I guess to
Have
clarify,
fun.
there is one of Kōkei, but it was not needing to be explained.
Mm-hmm.
It's just more of like a small thing.
Yeah.
You're about to say.
Have you tried typing in Kōkei? Would that give all of their memories to us?
Why haven't I thought of that yet? And this is why I keep on saying I'm the dumbest Lorton in the fucking family.
No. You just haven't suffered as much as some of us.
To be
Physically.
fair,
I don't know.
we're learning as we go. Come on, give yourself some credit.
I don't know. Snorting salt water sounds like something that is worth one thing.
So
Well,
you submit
The
in
reason I don't make
Kōkei.
mistakes is I've made too many.
Okay. Make sure I'm using the right fucking.
The little macron over the O.
Wait, wait, Akira, wait, Servant, I don't know how to make the symbols. She has symbols in the names. How do you do that on the keyboard?
Well,
It's
I
not a
just
literal keyboard,
imagine-
it's just you say the word.
Yeah, it's like just say Kōkei with emphasis on the O.
Okay.
Okay. Ooh, okay. The museum lights up as tons of things are highlighted in the museum. And you see many little pedestals lit up all over the place. As far as you're aware, this could be everything, but it could also be missing the places where it wasn't mentioning Kōkei, but was still Kōkei. However, there is one memory that stands out in particular. This one, if you repair it, I'll give you it for free if you repair it.
It's broken.
Are you going to repair it? Is what they're asking.
I'm gonna try. Just try to focus. She'll just gently touch and just try to mend it.
Okay. The pieces come back together, you find all the little spare parts, and you piece together most of the memory. This has Alice, little Alice in a room, talking to an imaginary friend, telling them all sorts of things, that they failed the exam, that they don't have a place in this society, that they have no sort of special talent that will give them a role, and they don't know what to do. And then they call this imaginary friend Kōkei.
What?
You good there?
Okay, now I know where the name came from. Kōkei was Alice's imaginary friend, I think.
That's fair.
Huh. I'm surprised it didn't come from Justice, honestly.
I'm
It
honestly
came
not
from the
surprised.
original.
Yeah. But
But at least we can store this with Alice's memories wherever that is in the exhibit.
well, considering that it went in this order, so because once again, you said Kōkei in particular, just the name specifically. So anything that's mentioning them, even if it's technically in a different time order, so then the other two are just going to create more of the crystal torches instead of the braziers, so that way they just like make sure to keep all the memories intact.
Okay. My next question: will you repair all the Kōkei memories that you can find?
I want to try.
Okay. Please roll 5d20 for me.
Plus my modifier or not?
Your modifier. Which
It's a
modifier are you
plus
talking
4.
about?
It's my. I use my wisdom when it comes to my mind stuff.
Wisdom, mind stuff. Will that help you piece together the pieces?
Yeah, it's me using my mental power.
Okay. I will accept that then. Feel free to do a +4.
Okay. I'm just gonna copy this. I can't fucking copy it. Mm. 22, 19, 27, and 15.
Okay. So, Kōkei's memories are not as sparse or not as in-depth as you would expect. They only existed for around 6-7 months, so they have limited experiences. Most of them is just ruminating about themselves and kind of getting lost dark in their thoughts and having some issues with themselves and how they can be useful to other people. Same old that you've heard from Kōkei time and time again. But you managed to put them all back together within 2 days.
Oh god, okay. How's Talia looking with just 2 days worth of work with this?
You can choose to take
Pretty
breaks.
exhausted.
Yeah, it's like imagine you could take breaks. It's just a matter of getting out and then back in.
Yeah, definitely after all that, she would definitely forget to take a break and let the rest of the team work it
Yes.
out.
I will now transition over to Zer and Venora side.
So, oh buddy, they're gonna search out Justice.
You find many memories, as Justice's 5 to 6 years was quite extensive. The museum lights up once again for you. But you also notice that room that you created that has solid fog also lights up.
Oh, you mother. Okay.
I mean, Dad, how would you break through that?
Well, head first.
Fair enough.
Yeah, more or less likely. So, am I gonna have to do like a multi-D roll?
Well,
to, like,
what are you doing?
basically going to be going through and I guess they kind of have to work backwards a little bit by technicality because they didn't really, like, Akira did not interact with Justice at all until after the whole nightmare shindig. So they all kind of have to work backwards.
Okay. So you're tackling the memories first and not the room?
The one that's with the thick fog that can't get through.
Well, Ryder said head first, so.
I mean, can try to see if they can even get through the fog, I guess, would be like trying to, I guess, before, I guess, tackling the armors, I guess, at this point.
So, okay. Okay. Let's do a quick check. Give me a d20. If you want to add a bonus from either strength or wisdom, you may. You don't have to use your character sheet. You can use whatever number you think would work for Kira.
If mine's a 4 and I have low mental state, considering.
Once again, both are insane.
You don't want to know mine.
It's like plus 10 or something like that.
So Riders could probably just walk right in.
Yeah, Rose would probably 100%.
But how's your intelligence or wisdom? That's what you have
about
to
close
use
to
here.
yours, actually. Fucking believe it or not.
Okay.
It's a red blight dragon, bro.
I have to sit like an
Okay,
idiot
So,
just to keep myself entertained.
how do you do a plus whatever?
Just
You
add a
just-
plus
You
at the
literally
end.
add a
D20
plus
plus
sign,
something.
like a space plus sign, and then space number.
Okay.
You sure? Or is I thought it was all together. D20 plus 4.
You can try. I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, you don't need a space. I don't use a space.
Oh,
No,
I was
okay.
wrong. Good
No
for me.
way.
Well, considering that while they do have experience in this stuff, I imagine there's going to be something fighting against it. So I guess plus 5. No.
You go for it.
Wow.
Well, you met. So, jeez.
Oh. It beats it.
Not the other
Alright.
way.
What?
I said
Alright,
not
get
the other
him.
way around.
Get
Yeah,
away.
it's okay. We
Beats
get
it,
silly
beats it.
during this because we need a little bit of levity. So, enjoy
Yeah.
being silly. Okay.
Okay, so
Through great difficulty, you manage to walk into that solid fog room. And inside, you find more fog. As you kind of roam around, you bump into something that's about your knee level. And then you walk around kind of up a little bit of steps, and then you bump into something else. This time, it's almost at your stomach level. And you kind of walk around that and hit into something really tall with like little divots in it. Do you recognize the
you guys
room you're
okay
in?
there?
managing. Is it a statue?
This is not a statue. This is a room that you're in.
Okay. Just wondering with the one that's like very tall that like just feel like it's divots in it.
You reach out to this tall thing that's in front of you, and you grab a handle.
What does it feel like? Does it feel like a door handle, a knob?
It feels like a nice metal handle of something that you can pull open. Like maybe like a drawer, maybe something else.
I'm gonna try to see what happens if I open.
You open it, and you hear the rustle of papers as things settle. Like they haven't been opened in a very long time.
So like stagnant type of rustle.
You still can't see it. It's still covered in fog.
Why do I think it's a filing cabinet?
Probably because it is.
I was imagining.
So yeah. So he's gonna like create a crystal with the light to see if the fog backs off from that, or
The Phoenix light?
yeah, the Phoenix light.
The fog backs off. You see a wooden filing cabinet, a whole, like, wall of them, it seems like it extends on forever. And then to your left, you see like a wooden thing that was stabbed into your stomach earlier. Your vision's still kind of obscured. But you do see these files. They just look like normal files, all nicely and neatly organized.
Is there anything particular about the one they opened that stands out?
Case file 432.
I'm trying to remember, is that the one with freaking nightmare?
Yes.
Okay.
Now here's where we find out I remember the case file wrong.
For real, though.
You recognize it as the
Okay.
Destruction Catacombs.
Okay, so that's where. What? So he's going to like create a few more, then he's gonna like try to like spread the crystals out a bit to try to see if he can cover more of the room. That's like it's like just basically a recreation of the office, just bigger.
You've recognized the room. The fog clears.
Is it the inside of the Collar Branch one, or?
It is the PGDA office. Slightly different from the one you remember, but it's the same layout, and you were in here. But this filing cabinet wall extends out much further than you remember. It doesn't make sense for the room, but you look at it, and you wonder, what's stored within?
Well, they're gonna both check to see if like all of them are able to be opened or some of them are locked.
As far as you can tell, they can all be opened. Except for one, once again, all the way in the bottom right corner, right where your foot is. That's locked. All the other ones can be opened. Case file 2, case file 87, case file 9432, case file 16, case file 63, case file 578, Fuminori.
Right, because the BGGA did take notice of a Minori at one point, so right. Okay, let's see. Oh, jeez. So it's just gonna leave that. Is there any, like, scattered memories around the floor?
You see scattered documents, like they once belonged, nicely and neatly categorized in these files.
And now they're, like, scattered about in the wrong places.
Scattered about, not in their home files anymore. But all the tabs of the files are all maintained, nice and crisp and clean. Although, some might be empty because they're missing their files.
Ew, fun this is. Is the wall of fog still there on, like, I guess, like, the outer perimeter of the room type of deal?
Now that you've recognized the room, and you've given it shape and form, the fog is cleared.
Okay. So I was like, I don't know if you guys want to help me with this one over here.
How bad is it?
Do you enjoy figuring out file origins?
God, not paperwork, anything but paper. Okay.
I mean, you guys can go ahead and like try to like look through Justice's memories for like figuring out that bit if you'd rather do that instead of, well, this.
No. I'll help. Just, I feel like back in the castle again.
Apologies.
Hey, you get to feel like back when you were king, Dad.
I mean,
it was
did you
the
want to help with
paperwork I
this?
didn't mind. The main problem was trying to not be myself.
Fair.
So I guess all three of us are gonna try to fix all of that. Oh, I don't know if we want to count that, considering that you have 2 days currently on your belt right now.
I can try to get the locked one.
Yeah, the same one that was technically from Minori's drawer, if I remember correctly.
Yes, you're correct.
So I guess while she's gonna try to open the
Wait.
locked one, I'm gonna.
Wait. Aren't you this is somewhat metagaming. Aren't you proficient in fucking lockpicking? As a rogue? I know that's your subclass, your fighter / rogue.
Yeah, just so I could have uncanny dodge because I was a dick. Let me see here. I am proficient in thieves' tools.
There you go. That's lockpicking.
Okay.
Would you like to attempt to open this?
You know what? I will.
Okay.
You know,
I will
actually,
take...
this makes sense. So we have the person that's not involved in anything to look at those particular files, I feel.
Yeah, I'm kidding. Yeah, for real.
No bias.
Alright, what am I rolling teach?
Alright. Is there a thieves tool check?
Yeah, there is.
Sleight of hand?
Okay.
It would be your dex plus your proficiency. So yeah, sleight of hand, pretty much.
Sounds good.
Okay. Alright, just a d20?
Just the d20.
Okay.
With your modifier.
Is that right? Yes.
I knew this should have a little bit sure, I know I'm slouching a little bit too much.
Alright, you smashed that DC. Jesus
Damn.
Christ. Fucking hell, I thought I said it high. Dude, fucking Jesus Christ. What the fuck?
Listen, if my strength is 30, you don't even want to know what my other stats are.
Okay.
30, I will give you that. They're below 30, however.
Alright.
Jeez Louise.
You managed to get into this locked cabinet. In this cabinet, you find a book titled For My Next that seems to have been thumbed through, checked off, and gone through very carefully. You also see
Yeah.
many files, all starting with Fuminori, a time we shared, Fuminori, a moment on the bench, Fuminori, at the endless beyond, Fuminori, with the butterflies, Fuminori. They all list Fuminori. And they're all intact, but locked away.
So while that was happening, the other two were just trying to like put everything back.
Taliana's not paying attention, so whatever you want to do.
Well, what do you two want to do with this?
Do with what? Oh, you got that one open.
Oh,
Yes.
shit.
Let's see that.
Exactly. That's why I ask you
Sly.
two, because I do not know Kōkei very well.
Well, this is more justice plus Kōkei by technicality, since that book is supposed to be for Kōkei, but she never got that book, if I remember correctly.
You know, I never asked. Who was Justice to Fuminori?
I mean, considering how his reactions were at one point, were basically, he was grieving So,
More than the others, yes.
so this is just a guess on our end because we don't exactly want to assume, in all honesty, but probably more than a friend. Just from context clues that we have gotten and such, and considering how Funori reacted when the whole entire driver transfer occurred, and how, well, he reacted and how he was feeling. So. So, you said that the files were locked. Is there something binding them then?
It was just the drawer that was locked, and they were stashed away.
Business. Okay. So.
So they are like memories they don't want to remember. Is that why they're locked?
That would be my assumption.
Maybe we should just leave it as is then.
Yeah, because I don't think we can really do much about those in particular, especially since that's a very, very touchy subject.
Very.
Just
Well,
gonna...
also keep in mind that if we don't deal with these, and we lock them away again, like with Kōkei, they may become an issue later on. Just something to think about.
Well, I thought to just keep them in the drawer, just don't lock them up again.
Fair. She can
'Cause I-
tackle them when the time is right.
Anthony, right? Both of them are still tackling the files that are scattered about the office.
Okay.
I don't
Since
know
you
if
two
want
are
me to do
going at that, if you two could each roll me a 2d20.
It's more Servant and Venori because Daliana's already got 2 days on her belt.
Okay.
She's just
Then-
been watching and giving her advice.
4d20 to light.
Okay. No monitor.
You may add your wisdom, like shadow.
I don't know how much of the wisdom would be on the other two, and all.
I would think
Scissors.
Servant would have higher, or pretty much, yeah, same as yours, because it's your, well, no. It's kind of like Druid rules. You think, just have it as the same, just for the sake of brevity.
So just like the +5 that is
The
last
5.
time.
Yeah.
I wonder, is this gonna actually fire correctly, or am I gonna have to redo this? Yep. Yeah.
You're fine. I can just look at the numbers. 10,
Yeah, just
18,
add 5
18,
to all of
16.
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, I wish it did the way it should too.
You have also taken 2 days to categorize everything.
Okay.
How are you
So,
not tired?
fun fact, Akira's body would be resting, but the other two are in there, so, also the fact, I guess technically speaking, writers in particular is going to notice, Akira's not eating or drinking. And he seems fine. So...
Okay. Alright. Time passes. You probably take a break since it took you both the same amount of time to finish your sections.
Mm-hmm.
When you enter the museum again, and you take a look at the Justice exhibits that once lit up, you notice that they are all gone. There are no more Justice exhibits.
Because
However,
of the room.
that room now completely lights up whenever you think about Justice.
So it's all in here. Gotcha.
Okay. Check on the Kōkei.
Kōkei, you've gotten a large amount of their memories together, but there's still a significant portion that still needs to be organized. Not to mention, there's a lot of stray ones that you just aren't sure where they match up. And then even worse, you seem to have a hard time finding Alice's.
This is where it gets hard.
Should have done it first.
Hmm. I don't know anything about. Heck, I don't even know what Alice looks like.
You could look up mask.
Or just
There.
Alice.
Or just Alice. Alice didn't always have the mask.
Yeah, the only one that we technically know of is when the whole entire shindig with the mask when Fumori ended up sacrificing himself to save Justice because their body was cracking and crumbling away.
Ouch.
Yeah, that was after the whole entire shindig where Justice and Fumori had fused together to have a, I guess, combined form. And,
I guess. I'm agreeing with you. I'm guessing.
Here. Okay, so I'm guessing if we're looking for Alice or anything like that, there's not very much that shows up, is there?
Very little. You know the pieces are there, but where are their pedestals? Where did it all go?
Maybe Alice isn't her real name. Maybe it's just a nickname.
Concerning those shades that she conjures up, kept on calling her Alice. I'm not too sure about that.
Well, what did the PGDA call her?
Justice. Fuck, what was the serial number?
9432.
9432.
Okay, let's look that up then,
Okay.
instead of her name.
Now, does that actually show the rest of it that's been hidden, or does it only show up for Justice?
You see more Justice memories, things that weren't directly categorized within the filing cabinets. Let's see, do I have one I can share? You sense an overall theme to Justice. Something that they've held onto and built themselves around their entire life as you look through all these memories and repair them. Penance.
Yeah, considering that one particular memory that we ended up seeing, considering that they ran on that one.
Kinda get the feeling. That didn't really work, did it? Nothing of Alice? Or anything that looks like Alice?
The other two are gonna try something. I particularly remember that something about the fact that you shared memories with Fuminori in particular. Would there be anything of that we'll be able to tell what does Alice look like?
Ah, you're looking for the time that they became Ouroboros during their final fight with Nightmare. That memory. You go into the PGA office, 200 filing cabinets down, go up 4 filing cabinets, you gotta go behind the whole thing, and then you gotta turn around like a little princess, and then it reveals itself. And there you find a document listing out, basically as a report. I managed to combine with Fuminori. I got to see his memories. He was once just a normal village girl, fighting in something called the Syndicate. And he was forced to become an undead. And he came back. He saw my memories of me as a little girl, back in my home village. And he saw how I was rejected by my own people, and how I awoke to my illusion magic, and how deeply terrifying it was. There's a picture of a little girl with green hair. I've shown you the model before? With ether lines, yes.
Yeah, I think you should me in live, but show it for the sake of a writer.
I will, thank you.
You give him the lore.
Yeah, Ryers is learning a lot on this one.
Oh, she's even more adorable. She's got an automatic shotgun.
Alright. So you got that. You know what Alice looks like.
Okay, so because of that, can we technically make a search on, I guess, appearances?
Image search.
Basically. Unless literally the only memories that are going to be cropping up is when the whole entire Ouroboros occurred.
Okay, I can expand your repertoire to concepts. While you do see a few pedestals light up of Alice's memories, you don't see the pieces related to those pedestals. So you see pieces of Alice's memories with no pedestals, and you see pedestals with no pieces of Alice's memories. It's all muddled.
All muddled and scattered. Fun.
Like, I
And
still
then-
question how exactly this would happen.
The fog
What, all got
shifts.
scattered?
Oh no.
It gets thicker. It gets heavier. Those within notice a presence, attempting to make itself known. It seems
Is it the
all this
similar-
tampering.
Is it similar to the time when Akira got smited?
Yes.
No, fuck, it's her.
An initial fear, just Taliana immediately hide behind that.
Yeah, like Zero and Fenor are both kind of, because it's like basically while in the mindscape there's two Akiras, just one that has green lines, one that has blue. It's like they both kind of look up and be like, fuck, not again.
There's a presence that seems to be unhappy as it's filling the halls with an almost unseeable fog. It's rumbling.
Seems like Vestinol doesn't like something.
Have
You
met
notice-
them
Flames
This-
starting to get sputtered out.
They're Kōkei's driver.
Yeah, and the thing that ended up smiting Akira when he tried to take the energy that's not ether that's currently in Kōkei right now. Seems like she's noticed finally and doesn't like it.
Mom, have you talked to them?
Not yet, no.
Yeah, we don't know if they can understand or if they even want to understand.
Well, we won't know unless we give them that chance.
Fair. Well, Vesimal, you're gonna start trying to speak, or you're just going to be angry and, I guess, halt our progress at the current moment.
Thunderclouds rumble in the air. The
Not again.
crystals you have placed begin to lose their light. The fires sputter.
No.
They're
Vesimal
gonna
seems
try
angry.
to... Yeah, they're messing around with something that's hers, so... They're both gonna try to just put more energy into that, but if that doesn't help, it's like...
One warning is made clear. Blaring. Hands off my child.
What was the name of this creature?
Vesimal.
Vesimal.
Have you tried looking them up?
I mean, with how thick this fog is, I don't know if we're ever gonna be able to find anything.
Maybe not
They'll
now.
definitely light up. Maybe.
Maybe not now, but next time. But it wouldn't hurt to try.
What other next time do we have, though?
Yeah, considering that, well, she's this angry when we're just Kōkei's and Justices. Did we get it mostly done, or?
You've got a good chunk done. There's still a lot of little
No.
scatterings that you gotta clean up.
Remember, if you want it to happen, it'll happen. Same thing with Kōkei. So you'll have your chance again should you want it enough. But either you search for it now, quickly, or do it later.
Gonna try search up if there's actually anything of Vesimal in there.
Alright. What lights up this time is a statue of a tall woman in dark robes with black hair, with a black orb by her side. And on the inscription it says Vesimal, Goddess of Darkness.
Oh,
Is there fog emanating from the statue?
Yes.
Huh.
Well, good news is, you know information about enemy. Bad news is, it's divine.
Yeah.
so
Considering
it's
that, well,
from the statue?
That's a good possibility, but I don't really care to find out, especially in territory and a turf that's not mine nor am I familiar with.
yeah, messes around with it too much, might end up getting smited like Akira did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you already know what happens when I get smited. I smite back.
Yeah. Let's not start another god fight, please.
Especially not
Its
in
presence
Kōkei's
is
mindset.
becoming overbearing as it's losing its patience. It seems it wants to make an example of the one that is the most threatening.
Oh fuck.
Can we tell where is that directed at?
Riders.
And I'm supposing that's a cue to leave.
I recommend that.
Okay. All of us pull out for a moment.
Ow. Kōkei, you okay? How are you feeling?
Checking ether levels.
Okay. Fuck.
Fuck.
Is this what happened in Kira's material or not? I've never seen her do
Yes,
this.
it did.
I'm assuming
Start
it has something
pulling
to do with the
energy.
goddess. And I don't
It has
recommend
something to
mentioning
do
her
with the
name
driver.
here.
Yep.
Yeah, never will. Kōkei? Justice?
Okay, once again, checking the ether levels on Kōkei's core.
Low.
Fuck. I'm gonna start putting ether in there.
I did not think our driver was gonna be a goddess. This is not good.
Well, considering.
Gods and goddesses. It's usually if you can know their name, it's easy to gain information, so what's missed about them that might be true.
I'm just gonna make sure to keep the ether levels like right below full. Or is the ether actively being drained?
Or is that some similar one?
It is currently in a fight. Ether you pump
No,
in
we're.
seems to fight against the energy that Vestinal is putting in.
Yeah, lovely. Tug of war time, fun. Ugh.
Tug of war? What do you mean tug of war, Servant?
The other one's purposefully making so ether's not staying in there.
Anything we can do to help?
Well, there's only so much energy that Akira can do, so the moment he's out, well, you know what happens then.
Ether burn.
Well, not necessarily ether burn, it was just more the fact that Akira can't put any more energy out. Because keep in mind how a lot of Akira's energies works is he's converting his energy to a specific type. Right now we're trying to do it as ether.
When Kōkei loses energy.
She basically becomes hostile and is looking for lusters, which is apparently crystallized life essence.
So like soul crystals.
Something similar, but not quite.
Okay, that's...
My theory is the goddess wouldn't allow someone, I would assume, to call their child, especially one of possibly motherly origins or behavior, to allow them to die. so they probably won't.
How much of the tug of war is like on the losing side for, I guess, the other two right now? Is it like starting to go more of the fact that you put more energy in?
Actually, give me a roll. Straight 1d20.
Well, considering my luck currently today.
He's getting ready.
Jeez.
You're slowly winning the tug of war. It seems that Besnel's influence, while strong, is very, very, very far out of its normal range. Even
Yeah, considering
going into Talaria, it seems to struggle with the connection.
Oh, so it's punching through the Talaria protection. Oh boy.
No, remember the protection's around the planet, not the universe.
Yeah, right. It's just very far out in comparison,
If
considering
it was on the
Warrior.
universe, I wouldn't be able to be here.
Fair. Okay, so this is going to be fun.
Yep.
You know what? You see that basically, Akira like pulls out like 5 soul crystals, and is just like gradually just grabbing one and just consuming it, just to like keep the energy levels up for himself, just for the fact to keep this tug of war battle going.
Good idea.
Just currently using just 5 for now, just to see if that actually helps or not.
Well, if we need more, that's easy.
It subsides. You've won the tug of war.
So, okay. Still gonna keep it from almost full, just the fact that how capacity is right now.
Yeah, when Kira does this, she hears voices apparently. Not nice ones.
Well, it's just more like a
I suppose
Too many
being in
voices.
the universe inside a demi-plane is... or demi-dimension has some benefits.
Yep.
to a degree.
Why I asked for your help.
Okay.
Okay. You there? You remember where you are? Oh no, not again. They did this in Akira's materia too. They just kept walking and started fighting as soon as you got in their way.
When did they stop?
They never did until we put them down.
No, basically,
putting
Kira
ether in them.
basically, yeah, ether in them.
They bit Ember. So just be prepared.
Keep your hand on it, but keep it sheathed.
Tug from the back of the coat. Tug. Justice?
Kōkei. Alice?
The fact that we're not getting any response.
Neither do I. This is weird. Even for them.
Keep on forgetting that drowsy affects a lot more stronger now.
Hold on, I got you. Come on, snap out of it. Please, come back.
Okay, so Venora's gonna try to go in to see if they can, like, see anything. I guess roll against question mark.
Yes, please.
How bad we talking?
That's a fail.
I should have pushed. I should have pushed all my luck onto you. Should have done that again.
So that was a feedback lash out.
Yeah.
Hey, you okay?
You get one thought out of that. There are no orders.
Right. As I keep on forgetting that the basis is basically based on orders. Why does that always happen?
Okay, then. Kōkei, snap out of it now.
I don't think they recognize Kōkei as a designation of name.
Alice, you have to snap out of it.
Okay, Zerwin's gonna try it this time.
The what?
Where are the Verum?
Sending spell. I think that might be, possibly Alice's last family name? Possibly?
They're not here.
I must find them.
Why? Why do you have to
Must
find them?
wipe them out.
Wipe them out. Why?
Okay. Well, this is all going on. Zervin's gonna try this time.
Give him the luck. Give him the luck.
1720.
Success!
So is that like just foggy as hell in there?
It is foggy as hell. A lot of the progress that you might have made might be seeming like it's at the risk of being lost, as it seems to be trying to reset that status quo back to the mess, completely messing up all the memories. The fact that even Alice can remember the Verum, that's something that the Vessel of Vestinal has not done before. Seems that you are making a difference.
Okay, so while Zervin is in there, he's going to try to see if lighting a crystal makes the fog back off or not.
It backs off.
Okay,
You have
so
a foreboding feeling.
like putting too much lights in there will cause another eye to look.
But they may try again. but you're not sure. It seemed that it took an incredible amount of effort for them to try the first time. Would they really do that again so soon?
Okay, so Sarah managed to get in there, and it's foggy as hell in there.
Wait, what? All of our progress is being erased?
Trying to, it seems like. So we're going to. It's either let it happen or just muscle our way through it.
Dad, what about your fire? What does that do compared to embers? You think it could help it make it come back faster?
Well, my fire burns everything that I want it to, and none that I don't want it to.
I don't think that's a good idea.
It's also somewhat primordial, so that might help.
Well, burning the fog is an option.
Yeah, burning the fog is an option.
Oh. We could try. Could you bring them in?
You're gonna have to go through servant's connection. So, are you gonna allow that, or does that need also a roll for the shoe in?
I would just allow it. They're basically
Okay.
still connected anyways to your earpiece.
Okay. So, you wanna burn some fog?
Sure.
Okay. So
And then-
as he's in there, they're gonna try to burn the fog, see what the reaction is.
In an almost incomprehensible way, the fog does catch fire. And since you have designated the only enemy as the fog, it clears through the fog throughout the entire building, including the rooms where it was propagating. As the fog clears, everything settles down. All the pedestals that were shaking no longer shake. The flames that were sputtering out regain their life. The crystals that were there regain their energy, their brightness. As this fog clears, as it clears, you sense an eye looking, and then it turns away.
Okay, so can we still see where they were propagating from? Is that whatever's causing the fog still there?
The origin.
Those rooms are still there. They still propagate some fog.
Is there something there, or is it just creating fog?
It just seems to be coming out. But now that you've cleared so much of it, now may be the time to employ the tactic of boxing it in.
Okay, so basically, wherever, like, how many would you want to say that there's a propagation point?
7.
Oh shit.
Okay, so
Well, I mean, you got help from. He's in there with you.
yeah, so basically, I don't know how fast riders can go from point A to point B in a
Yes.
mindscape, so just yes. Okay. 7 points. Put these around like all the entryways. It just gives you like a bunch of them, and they seem to be able to use think on it, and it should create another one. Just put it on. So now are all of those rooms, I guess, not able to have fog come out, I guess.
You box in the fog. The fog still tries to creep out. It fills that room, but it cannot escape, for the time being. It seems you've
And there wasn't
completed a
anything-
countermeasure.
Was there anything in those rooms in particular, or just fog?
It just seems the fog is spawning. It seems like it's part of the physical mechanism of what the vessel of Vesenal is.
Okay. You want to try to shoe in?
Benora, is it safe to go in? What's the status?
So, fog's contained. If you want to help with the rest of the stuff, we still got a few more things to do.
Do we want to do this while Kōkei is standing, though? Do we...
It's like, you want to keep standing?
And Kōkei is just kind of in a daze right now.
It's just more of like trying to see if they can get a response or get her to refocus. No reaction.
Okay, I'm coming in.
Yeah, I'll just stay out here and make sure that
The cookie doesn't fall over.
Thank you.
Okay. So I guess, well, technically speaking, that now there's just 3. I guess we're gonna be what?
7. 7 to get in. Okay, I'm maybe not going in.
Alrighty.
Does anything happen in the mindscape when that happens?
This stays stable. You get one single thought out of that failed attempt. Beach.
Beach? I had a thought of the beach, but
Wonder what beach that was referring to.
I have no idea. I've never seen that beach in my life.
Okay, looks like it's just us two trying to, like, I guess, fix if anything. Was there any memories that were toppled over again?
None yet. So you saved all those.
Okay. So
However,
gonna be looking for.
that word, now that you said it, gets bigger. And that thought gets bigger. And that thought gets bigger. Beach. This slowly begins to encompass the entire museum. Pulling you all in. Enticing you.
Though. Shall we go to the ominous what's pulling, or?
Well, I don't recommend that, but if you want to fuck around and find out, as the Metaversians say, sure.
Fair. Well, considering that we still are, the memories for Alice still gone. Like, they're not there.
Still gone.
I got
And also,
really
Shadow,
bad
you
feeling.
were invited too, as one
Oh.
that was in there. The mental
Okay,
defenses are
definitely.
down right now, completely.
Definitely taking her chance to.
Whoosh!
Now we'll reroll.
No, there's no mental defenses.
A mental defense, so no roll. Okay.
Okay,
And it's like,
do enter the beach.
everyone will.
Alright.
Alice.
Hi.
You found me. Took you long enough. It's a nice speech, isn't it?
Definitely one of the more natural ones.
You
This
notice
where your home
strewn
is?
all along the beach the fragments of Alice's memories and the pedestals that they once rested upon. These were all where the missing ones went.
Did you do this? Or did something else?
Did I do this? No. The void,
Pretty dang sure.
Vestinal, becoming a child, my hometown, all that. Ugh. All that did this. What's even left? It's a nice speech, isn't it?
It is.
So, you met her, I take?
Second meeting for Akira, technically.
This would be our first, I believe.
She's quite, overwhelming, isn't she? That damn goddess.
Overwhelming is definitely the right word for her.
I tried. I tried to fight him off, but it kept coming. She just kept whispering, kept telling me things I didn't want to hear, things I could do, things that I could become. But, you know, you've pushed her away for now. She'll be back. Mad. Angry. She's not going to let this slide.
Something Goddess's vengeance is probably one of the few things we don't want to invoke, if I remember correctly.
Oh. She's not but a jealous god. One that couldn't even hide the jealousy of her own sister.
Sister?
Hmm. Ah. Would you like to know about Vestinal and the world I come from?
We're curious.
Very.
You're new. I like you.
Thank you.
Long, long ago, in the creation of time, a god of gods once commanded his children to create a world for him. His two daughters, Althea and Vestinal, created their own worlds. Althea created Legendia. In it, a continent known as Althea sprouted. World of hope, happiness, dreams, where anyone could aspire to become anything. Vestinal created a world of cunning, of ambition, of the plague. They called it the Mistlands. That's where we come from. And these two worlds, the god of gods was delighted by Althea's, but horrified by Vestinal's. So Vestinal, in all her glory, poisoned Althea the goddess of light, forcing her into an eternal sleep that she would never wake from. Now Althea is turning into a nightmare. All those dreams, all those nightmares crossing across the barrier into their world. All while Vesinal is now interested in this. Are you sure you can deal with a goddess that jealous?
Well, considering that, well, I can safely say for at least 3 of us, for Akira, me, and Venora, we haven't dealt with a actual god as of yet. So, unsure.
Father? You're not gonna allow me, are you?
Not without myself.
Okay. I'm in.
Good, good. It seems myself seems to have made some good friends. Yes. Hopefully friends I won't have to kill again. Well, you see all that's left of me? This is all my shattered self can pull together. Do you want to know something? Figure out something to do? How best to fight?
Weaknesses and vulnerabilities would be the top priority.
Well, considering goddess of darkness and it seems nightmares.
Dreams in light. Then
If you want to go with polar opposites.
Well, it seems
But
you
I
have your
think
answer. Although,
But
can your dreams handle those
from
nightmares?
also the fact of where, considering if we remember correctly, we don't have a way, or we don't know of a way, how to get there.
Ha 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 ha. You want to get to Althea? Or the Mistlands?
Well, can't exactly fight.
You might be fighting more than just a single god. You might be fighting a pantheon. You keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's true.
if we tell them that we're trying to help them save their sister, though, would they allow us?
Would they believe you?
Would they believe
Well.
you is the next question.
Perhaps there is one thing. Vesinal, after poisoning her sister, decided to run away and hide, where the gods could no longer find her, in the world of Mistland. She's hiding there, somewhere among all the mortals. Each of one she has claimed dominion over, with a single seed embedded within them. When the seed sprouts, they become a child of Vesinal. Or, in your terms, you may call them a vessel of Vesinal.
Which is what Kōkei is currently.
Those seeds only sprout with strong emotion.
Is it strong emotion or strong negative emotion?
Strong negative emotions.
With what's been happening in the metaverse as of late, it's abundant.
Yeah, but to be fair, there's no other vessels that we know of aside from Kōkei.
Mm-hmm. I mean more that the metaverse is a place where they will feel that no matter what.
Negativity. Yeah, negativity or fester. But that's kind of how life is. There's always going to be positive and negatives. It's just what you reaction to those. At any rate,
I can think of one thing. You could cure them of being a child.
how do we do that?
There is a chalice of healing, an artifact of the gods, which you may be able to find if you look around in Mistland. Fortunately, it's highly guarded against other childs, and it's temperamental. It doesn't activate unless you fulfill certain requirements. But it's a long shot.
yeah, literally the only other option is a gyro transfer, which I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon.
Oh, dear. I guess you could look for another overdrive protocol.
Why would you even look for one?
That's the problem, we don't know because we're not in that land.
It's
Because
different
that's
from
from
my
another
own
land
land.
entirely. Yeah, because once again, that was from the
All rest.
Orest, while this is another land entirely. But that won't technically fix the problem, since technically speaking, that seed's gonna be still in. Okay, regardless.
With the chalice, we could get
Two!
rid of it.
Two-prong quest. Two things you must do. Overdrive protocol. Chalice of healing. 3. Defeat Vecinal. What an undertaking. Even the Doom Child can't understand what you're doing.
But then again, odds have always been stacked against Secure, and he's had to pull through somehow. In some cases.
Hmm.
Do you have any questions, Father?
No.
Guess the only question for at least me, is there like a way to out there?
A scroll appears in their hand. And then a second scroll. And then a third. It is a long path. It takes many, many jumps to go through. You see, our worlds are connected by something called a monolith. It takes time to find out where the monolith connects to, since we're not exactly prone to going into your metaverse. But it's a walkable path.
Ran into one of these before. Have to jump multiple times in order to figure out where you need to go. Fun.
At least you have the experience. I don't.
We have the experience. Akira, however, has only done it twice, so. There have been a couple times where we had to take over because Akira got lost.
You should know. The gods are hands-off. They don't actively interfere with immortals. They let their creations do it instead. Their dragons. Beyond Dragon, Ancient Dragon, Chaos Dragon. Each of them has spawned their own underlings beneath them. So, be aware. Those beings serve directly under the goddess.
Understood.
Why is it always dragons?
Is Kōkei or Justice gonna remember us being here or no? Will they remember you?
Well,
Well,
you're gonna
do
repair
plan
them,
on
aren't you?
grabbing everything. Yeah,
Eventually, yes, but
it's gonna be a
this
while.
is so much damage.
Unfortunately, this
Don't even know where
beach
to
is a
start.
lost cause. But it's fine. I still have a self. I've always valued my
Yes, if-
freedom over my place.
You gonna be able to stick around with the remnants that are left?
Oh, it'll be fine. After all, only I can make sense of this after the void.
Right. Likes the scramble.
You've done great work. You should finish up. Although, their ire might leak out into your space. If they can find a way.
So is that more of a possible thing that they might be sending something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should go back then. We're out of time.
Are we?
If they're coming
Yes.
to get us, then yeah.
Alright.
Plus, like they said, only they can make sense of this. The only person I could think of that could doesn't want to be involved.
This is such a nice speech, isn't it?
Definitely a unique one. Back the way we came?
Go ahead.
It was a pleasure to finally meet you, Alice.
If only you knew.
We know. We still think the same.
Let's go home.